Okay. All right, let's get this in the right spot. Microphone, you look. Whoa, everything calm down. He's going crazy.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
All right, Mitchell. How you been, man?
Oh, I've been.
How's your life going?
Where I've been, who I've been, when I've been, win a prize. No, I've been good.
You're starting to sound.
How have you been?
Are you doing an impersonation of the blind guy from Soul Plane? Because you're starting to just between the glasses and muttering
Spoilers.
Nonsense. Yeah, oof. That's next episode too. We don't want to.
I know. Yeah, you can't give them too much of the secret sauce.
Oh, that's a whole 3 days away.
Ooh, you guys better buckle in. It's one hell of a ride.
That's right. Yeah. We'll get there. Hi everyone. Welcome to the Neon Valley Podcast. Episode.
How's it going, folks?
35.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with that. Joseph will correct us below. It'll say the correct number. Well, actually, it might not because I think it said the wrong number.
Joseph, can you correct the correction? Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know how it's possible to dock negative pay. Like, does he just owe us more?
Yeah, I think he just owes us money at that point and dinner.
Okay. All right. I'm blaming Joseph for this too. Let me just fix my microphone real quick.
We came prepared, people.
Yeah, we did.
Are you? Do you know where your parents are?
Do you? I still think. Thought my light in my camera was gonna fall. Sometimes I thought about a thought once that just completely lost my train of thought. It's not even important. All right. No idea what I was gonna say. Genuinely can't remember what I was gonna say at all. What did you say? Something about Halloween candy? What were we talking about?
What? Are you gaslighting me?
I'm not. I'm a little buzzed. I went to a BarCade earlier. I really didn't drink that much, but had a couple gin and tonics.
I enjoy BarCades. I think it's a fun combination.
Yeah. And what I'm appreciating more as I get older is like kind of the more low-key BarCades. Not necessarily the Dave and Buster's and the insert coin. Actually, insert coin was dope.
Insert coin was dope.
What am I thinking of?
Nerd Bar?
No, that one was okay. We were so busy one night and they had the waitress going around picking up all the trash and drinks that like Audrey put her drink down to like talk with someone. And then by the time she went back to grab her drink, the waitress had already picked it up as if it was trash. And Audrey was just like, hey, whoa, hey.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah, that is like, yeah, but either way. No, what was I trying to, no, it's the really popular one. GameWorks.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not as big of a fan of that anymore. I still love those places, but I prefer the smaller like pinball halls that only have like a few like, and they mostly have like cabinet games like Mario, Galaga, stuff like that. And I'll tell you why.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, because I moved out to Oregon.
I knew this. I was about to say you were gonna move up to Oregon. You were gonna be able to go full blown hipster. I'm not there to reel you in at all.
I gotta hone it in. I'm sorry. No, it's...
I fucking knew it.
Once I tell you the reasoning, you'll understand, okay? How much does one game cost at GameWorks? Probably like close to $2-3 a game, right? Once you break down the credits and how many you have to use to buy... Because it's
I do remember that like some like the more fun, like the big ones you sit in, it was like at minimum 3, if not 4 credits, which was like the full $1, I think.
Yeah,
God, it's been so many years.
At least like $1 minimum per game, minimum. Mario, a quarter. Bro, you walk into this one barcade down here, each game is 25 cents. You walk in with $5 in quarters and like an extra $10 to $15 for drinks. You're having a good time for about 3 to 4 hours, my friend.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that.
Yeah, now you go into GameWorks with like $40. An hour and a half goes by and you're like, fuck, I've had one beer. We played 3 games of a claw machine and didn't get shit. We played Walking Dead once and the fucking crossbow didn't even work. Okay, sorry.
I feel like you were a kid that never got to have your birthday at GameWorks.
No, I didn't even really care about I didn't know about GameWorks when I was younger. GameWorks was originally in Vegas. It was on the Strip, right?
It was on the Strip, which, man, that was so... It was under M&M World.
That's right. Yeah, for people who aren't from Vegas or have been there, they don't give a shit about any of this, but that's fine.
They do.
I have a fun little tidbit about GameWorks. Did I ever tell you how I repeated the same date 3 times at GameWorks?
No.
Okay, so
What?
I went on I think it was like a Bumble or Tinder date, one of those. Like,
okay.
I want to say right before the pandemic or a bit before the pandemic.
Okay.
So like years ago, 3-4 years ago now, obviously. And I went on a date with one girl and we had this, like, one of those just kind of perfect scenario moments where it's like every game we played just was really fun. We were playing this one like mallet smacker game where it's like you have to hit it the perfect amount. You're not trying to hit it as hard as you can. You're trying to hit it the perfect amount, because if you hit it too hard, it goes up and then comes back down. So we hit it and got the perfect amount, and I was like, wow. And then like a couple minutes we were like, let's try it again. And we did it. We both got it again. And we were like, wow. And we got this big fucking like Pikachu plushie or something, whatever. Did that.
Ooh, you got the Pikachu.
And it was a great date. Didn't really work out. I don't think we went on another date, and we just kind of went our separate ways, but it was fun. It was a very fun night. And then I went on another date, and they wanted to go to GameWorks as well. And because I was curious, I was like, well, we had such a good time with this exact order of things. And
you turned it into a science experiment?
No, not purposely. When it became that was when I came back to that mallet game, and I was like, there's no way that I can recreate this moment, right? There's no way. I did. It happened. It, like, the exact same way it happened again. And I was like, there's no fucking way that this is real. So either way, we had a great time. Me and that girl, we dated for about 3 months. And then I did it again.
Spoiler.
So the third time I went to GameWorks and repeated the same. Yeah, I think it's just more of falling back on a classic. Why fix what's broken at the end of the day?
Wow.
Yeah.
How romantic. And you know what? That bears a question.
Mm-hmm.
On a first date, or within the first few dates of getting to know someone, we'll say the first date at an arcade, if that's something you guys enjoy doing.
If you just happen to go to one.
Right. I mean, even I think it was our second or third date that my wife and I had gone to. I think it was GameWorks when it was at Town Square still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was still GameWorks. Do you let the girl win, or do you just try to beat them at every, and or if you are a girl, the other one, though there are many, when you're a girl, do you let him win to feel better about himself, or are you trying to win as well? Because me and my wife were both trying our best to beat the other person.
I think it depends on the game, right? If it's a game, because here's the thing, I think it's insincere when it's obvious. And I know that's dumb, because it's like either way, if you're trying to let them win, there is a lack of sincerity in a sense. Like, you're not genuinely playing the game, you're trying to let them win. But it's when it's so obvious is when it's a problem for me. So it's like when it's games that I know that it's like I mean, on a first date, it's hard to say though, because you don't know what they're good or bad at or anything.
Right, exactly.
But if you gauge like right out of the gate, like, oh, they're not very good at this, like, you just kind of have to blow them out of the water. Like, what do? Look like really bad?
Run up the score.
Yes, impress them. No, because like, what are you supposed to, like, because if you look like you suck, like, let's say you're talking like,
wait, so you throw it to make them feel better, and then they go home thinking, this guy's a fucking loser. He couldn't beat me at anything.
He got 50 points in the Jurassic Park game. It's like the easiest shooter possible. I'm just bad at game. Like, she's like confused. He's like, didn't he say he was a streamer? Like, he must not be very good. I don't know. That's tough. But if it's a game that's competitive and you're like neck and neck, yeah, give him the win for the little bit. But I think it works both ways. I'm not saying that a man should let a woman win. I'm saying that it's like, if you're the type of person who doesn't revel in winning and revels in that moment of like, oh, you did it. Oh, you man. Like, if that's more fun than winning, just let them win for a minute. But in your situation, it does work out where when you both just are coming at each other's necks It doesn't really matter.
Where at this point you just don't want to lose because the other person's going to talk shit regardless.
Well, okay, that's where I draw the line. Okay, like if I let them win and then they talk shit all night, it's gonna be like, I let you win. Like it'll come out. It'll.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Well, with that, I think it's time for the question corner.
Oh, you're so right.
Actually, we don't have a name for it yet, do we?
The question cauldron.
The question.
The cauldron.
The quest for chins.
I think the cauldron of questions is pretty good, man.
Oh, I do like cauldron of questions.
I like how you immediately are on board. Yeah, it's.
Well, because I was picturing like the graphic and everything, and it's just the word questions being brewed in a cauldron.
I think it's just how your knee-jerk reaction was to disagree with me, but then you thought about it. You were like, actually, yeah, no, I like.
No, I did. I was like, no. Cauldron questions.
All right, we do have a couple.
It does
questions.
get called into question.
Oh. All right, let's start with one from a patron here.
Ooh.
This is Gerbils. Yes, everyone, golf clap. He actually had. Actually, I'd like to start this off with a little bit of an update, not quite a question. It is from Gerbils.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
This is from our last episode, actually. 2 episodes ago, I believe, because it's when it was posted.
Okay.
I think there's an episode delay right now. So he said, I was highly on the fence about the whole ice cream versus cake debate. Up until Skorge said you can get ice cream inside of your cake. That sold me. I go cake. I mean...
I like how it didn't change until he realized that there was ice cream, because without ice cream he then wouldn't go to cake, therefore you still couldn't have it without the ice cream. Ice cream is superior.
No, believe me, because I responded.
Is still best.
Oh yeah, we agreed on that. No, I responded. It might have been on stream. I don't remember if I asked him directly or if it was on Discord.
Oh, okay.
I said I get how Mitchell made the argument again, how it's like, well, it makes the cake better, so ice cream is better, but that's not true. That's not true. It's the ratio.
No,
It's the ratio.
Now I think you're just being disrespectful.
No. Sorry. By the time I'm done disrespecting the ice cream, it'll be melted. It won't even exist anymore. It won't even matter. The cake would still be standing firm. It would be it'd be looking me in the eye.
Ice cream is something so good, you want to finish it immediately.
It's true.
Like,
no, it's
I
delicious.
eat all my food. I actually had a coworker. We all went out to lunch together, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're the first person I've ever met that eats faster than I do."
Wow, you found your kind.
Yeah. And then I felt really bad because I'm like, damn, I'm 30 and I'm still getting that comment.
It's crazy though how like the speed at which people eat isn't like directly correlated to anything. Yeah, like
yeah.
Like because my grandmother, like she was in Weight Watcher. She's the fastest eater I've ever seen in my life. Like, yeah, she only eats about 200 calories per meal, but it's like done. But you would never expect it. She's like a little mousy, like quiet, like, but she'll eat that shit up. You never know. Never know who's actually a raccoon on the inside.
Like I use the adjective quiet.
My grandmother? Well, yeah, because you would assume you're saying that someone who doesn't like scarf down food, that you associate that with more of like a louder, more verbose person, would you not?
I mean, are they snarl? Do I snarl when I eat? I didn't think I snarl.
No, it's not when you eat. I'm saying as a characteristic. If you're someone who is known for eating quick and fast, it's like, oh, you might be a more outgoing person. I just feel like that's a thing. I'm kind of making this up now, but
I do think that's a little bit headcanony because I hadn't thought about a correlation. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm absorbing it.
It's there because I feel like there's been like scenes from movies with this kind of joke that sets up this very thing where like a girl who's very like proper and quiet will sit down and have like a burger in front of her and she's like putting her napkin down and then she's like and then eats real fast and it's like, whoa, we didn't expect her to eat that fast because she we've talked about this. You can't take notes during the podcast. You have to do them before, and then we talk about them. Okay? Now hear me out, unless these are notes for the next episode of the podcast in which you will talk about what I just said on this episode of the podcast, but you're going to wait. In which case, go ahead. Is that one of those mechanical pencils that looks like a pencil? Do you remember those?
No, it's just a pen that looks like a pencil.
Okay.
I'm super mad. The other day at work,
I'm super bad.
Oh, dude, no. They had a company come in just to talk to us about stuff, and they brought swag, which is the corporate translation to free shit. I'm gonna go nuts. I'm so excited about this meeting. And I got one of those multicolored pens, and I was using that for everything at work, and then I lost it and I can't find it, so that sucks. Wow, so, did we both answer the question?
There wasn't a question. I was commenting on the cake thing. Remember it was the ice cream cake.
Oh, that's right. That's how far off we got thrown. All right.
Joseph, you might have to clean that up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
All right, let's actually get into a question here. We actually have 2 from Gerbils and we have 1 from Cam.
Oh, yeah.
Gerbils asked, what genre of music do you love but don't really tell anyone that you listen to?
So that's hard for me because I'm not the kind of person that is like, this is my personal thing. I'm not going to share that. Like, I'm trying to be famous. Like, I don't have a lot of things that I don't feel like I openly share because I listen to EDM, I listen to like Linkin Park, and then it's like rap music. There's not a lot of stuff where I'm like, the world doesn't need to know about my secret collection of yodels.
Yeah. And even stuff like I could probably think of one for you, I think, but at the end of the day, we've talked about it. So it's not like, and it's not a genre, it's specific. So it doesn't really fall into this.
Yeah.
The Evita soundtrack. Like I feel like that's something where if one of your like producers walked in on you listening and belting out the Evita soundtrack, you might have a moment of like, shut up, bro, this is legit. You know, like you know, you would pause for a sec. Like you might pause.
All right. That's okay.
I was about
Great
to start.
Soundtrack.
Yeah, it is really good. Yeah. I'm pretty open about my music too. I don't really hide much that I listen to because even like the more poppier stuff that I'm not necessarily proud of, like I still talk about, you know, like I like AJR and I like even like those old like fucking boy bands growing up with like Big Time Rush and even early Jonas Brothers.
If there was one I would be surprised about that I know you genuinely enjoy, it was probably Big Time Rush. Because like Jonas Brothers, I get it. They're all very talented.
There's something about I don't know. Well, you know what it was? The show is genuinely hilarious. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched it. I'm not fucking kidding.
No.
I'm not joking. I sat down one day, like a year or two ago, because it got added to Netflix. I sat down and I watched the entire first season and was laughing my ass off the whole time. It's genuinely funny. Like, because they have a lot of improv moments where they let the actors just do whatever they want to do. And it's very good. And the music is cookie cutter. It's very basic, but it's also catchy. And it was at an early time where they would kind of use electronic music in a way that a lot of people in pop music weren't quite using yet. I thought Nickelodeon was a little ahead of their time in that. I liked it. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not, there's not too many genres. I'd say, like, I guess I also do like movie soundtracks. Like, I think, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before, but I did the Spotify Wrapped for the year.
Yep.
And I think I'm in the top 0.5 percentile of listeners for Andrew Garfield because of the Tick Tick Boom movie. Because he did genuinely sing those and perform those, so it's under his name on Spotify.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
You are such a hipster. That is like the most hipster thing I think I've ever heard you say.
Yeah. I like Kid Laroi. That he's like another pop artist I'm into, but his more recent stuff is kind of like whatever, I guess. Like I liked his earlier stuff. So yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one to answer. Did you think of anything while I was on my spiel, or?
The only other thing I can think of is the song "Chicken Fried," which is a country song.
What the little bit of chicken fried.
Yeah. So here's what happened. I was a lifeguard at a hotel here on the Strip. Almost doxed my past. And the server and the bartender, I knew the whole staff there really well. It was a really small team. We all got along great. And they knew I hated country music. So every morning when they opened up the pool, they would say, "Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pool. This one goes out to the lifeguard, Mitchell." A little bit of chicken fried. And I was just like, oh my God, you guys.
On Friday night.
They were the nicest, though. They used to bring me pitchers filled with, like, was it strawberry daiquiri and pina colada, obviously without the alcohol. And so I'd just be sitting on my stand with this big ass pitcher of a Miami Vice. And then the best thing about being a lifeguard is when you get to be the referee for the volleyball games. Because people get really mad. Oh, yeah. And sometimes you can just be like, you know what, bonus point. And everyone's like, what? But they go with it. There's a weird power about being a referee and a lifeguard. I love that feeling.
Especially when I thought I saw your closet door move a little bit for a second. It kind of scared me. I'm not trying to freak you out. I freaked myself out a little bit. Okay. I didn't like that. Do you know about that song? How it became like a meme? I think it was in 2020 when it like interjected from a very serious. You know, I gotta look it up real quick.
Okay, because
I'll send it to you in the Discord. The chicken fried.
Oh, chicken fried. Okay, I wasn't sure if we were talking about the same song still.
Oh my God, that's right. It's just sirens over Ukraine, and then just boom, a little bit of chicken. Hold on, I'm trying to find a way to send it to you. Hold on. It's something about. It's just because the song starts with "end." It's like it's finishing a thought. It's perfect.
Yeah,
That's insane. They never could have imagined that happening. That's the reason people pull out of like YouTube ads. You know what I mean? Like
all it takes is one thing lining up just not right.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get through this one here. What is a food that people love that you hate?
Fucking hate. Do you know what I'm gonna say?
I feel like there's a lot of things you could say. I feel like spicy food.
No. So we'll
tomatoes.
A food. No, I was say chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that's the one that would be most jarring to people. Is I fucking hate chocolate.
You know what? I don't think so, man. Nowadays, I think that's like a pretty non-confrontational opinion.
Really?
For some reason, maybe not. I don't know. I just feel like more often than not now I hear people being like, "Oh, chocolate's not that great." I'm like, shut up.
I've been saying that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
And you know, it's funny because I feel like that feeds into our cake versus ice cream argument a little bit because most of the best cakes are chocolate cakes. There's like genuinely they are like fucking a German chocolate cake. Oh my God. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Nope.
Sorry.
Nope.
Food
what's
that
yours?
People love that I hate. Ranch.
Ranch is disgusting.
Yeah, ranch is gross.
Ranch is gross.
Never.
Hashtag ban ranch.
I think that like it's fine if it's lightly drenched on a salad. Like lightly, or if you're dipping some carrots in it for some reason, lightly dip a carrot or celery, sure, that's fine. Anything else, no. Get it away from my pizza, get it away from my fucking hot wings, get it away from my fries, get it away. What is it doing here? It smells strong, it smells like shit. Audrey loves it. What are you gonna do?
Call the police.
It's my only choice. Yeah, that's. Off the top of my head, that's all I can really think of because I'm pretty open. Up there.
Chocolate and ranch. And if you mix those two things together, we will fight you.
Is there anything more vile that you could think of? Quite honestly, that's bad.
Peas are fucking gross.
What, bees?
Peas?
Oh, I love peas.
peas are fucking disgusting.
Like mushy peas are gross, but like well cooked and seasoned peas, good.
Never.
Yeah, no, they're good.
I thought I heard something behind me, and I was like, "Is that fucking?"
So you're
thing
freaking
moving?
yourself out. Yeah.
No, I think it was just beast.
The peas are coming to get you. The pea monster.
Was that all our? Does that end the question segment?
No, we got one more from Cam here.
Okay. Oh, Cam. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, which this one might be pretty quick because again, these are things that I think we're both pretty open about. So I don't know. Do we have any hobbies that we don't tell anyone about?
I'm working on writing a manga. That'd be the closest, but I'm not even like hiding that. I just don't promote it because I am not at a point where I like want to start talking about it. I'm still working through. It's something I've been doing for years, but it's something that I do because I enjoy it more than okay. My goal is to become a published manga artist because one, I'm never gonna learn how to draw. Like that is a great skill that I probably don't have enough time to practice and hone well enough. So I'd rather write the story like a novel and then have somebody actually draw it out when I get to a point where I felt comfortable releasing it. But that might be the only thing that I guess is more like or less known.
Yeah, and even then, I think we've talked about it on the podcast, you know. But yeah, it's not something you're on a daily basis posting about. It's not like you're like, oh, another page done.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not in my bio. I'll say that.
Hobbies, not necessarily. I guess up until recently, I would have said the game design and coding stuff, because that was always more of a hobby that I never really talked about. But then once I was kind of finishing up that Scarebnb demo and working on stuff like that, like it became more public. So I guess it's not as much of a hobby that I don't tell people about. I used to make model cars when I was younger, and like model.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it's like the ones that you get in all separate pieces, spray paint.
Oh yeah.
They had different levels of difficulties. I think like me and my dad got really into them. We'd started off with the simple ones that you just kind of click together. And then by the end of it, we were at the ones that you have to have an entire table filled with spray paint and all this shit.
Yeah.
And again, those are just really time intensive. And I feel like my passions and hobbies take up so much time already that I don't really have much time for another hobby. Like I would actually love to draw as a hobby. I used to draw a lot when I was younger, and I still like doing art for my music and stuff every once in a while, but I don't draw as much by any means. And I would love to, but I can't help but think like, well, if I'm drawing something, it better be productive. It better be like a drawing that I'm going to use for a video or a song or a logo. Yeah. It's like, it's stuck in that mindset a little bit. But I think that about wraps it up for our question segment. Remember, if you want to leave us any questions. Oh, did you have something else?
No. I was going to transition, but you're right. We should definitely plug ourselves in.
Call to action. Call that
ass in. Yeah, you called that ass in.
No, if anybody wants to ask us questions, make sure to join our Discord and support us over on Patreon. You'll get these episodes early, as well as extra little tidbits here and there and whatnot. Links are in the bio and description, as always, wherever you're listening to this. So, Mitchell, you're the one who came forth with a topic and idea today. I have no idea. You didn't.
We're playing a little game, and the game begins with a question.
Okay.
Over the weekend, I played in a lacrosse tournament. We talked about this before.
Ding, ding, ding.
One of 4 things happened at the lacrosse tournament. What?
Okay. All right.
Was it A?
Like a trick question.
I got into a fight and was ejected from the game.
Oh, no.
B. Refractured my wrist. C.
You're holding that mic
tore my
tight.
Achilles. Or D. Nothing happened. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, all right. Well, you were gripping that mic pretty tight there, so I don't think you're Your wrist is fractured. I can't remember. You were already sitting down when the camera turned on.
But I always do that because I always forget that my camera's facing the wrong way.
That's also true. But usually you get up at some point, and you haven't done that yet. So I haven't seen you get up. D is possible because, well, you're a dick, and you could have set this whole thing up just to talk about your lacrosse game when there is no game from it.
It would be a great transition. I'm not gonna lie if it was.
Oh, top tier, no doubt.
Genius.
All right, I'm falling between A and D. I'm feeling like you were either ejected, somebody rubbed you the wrong way. They called your sister a minx or something, and you were like, it went too far. Or nothing at all happened. I'm going A, locking it in. You were in a big old fist fight. You fucking threw down with some homie.
I was not.
Oh, damn it. All right, what happened?
I tore my Achilles.
God damn it. I haven't seen you get up.
Yeah, no. So what happened was like 35, maybe 40 minutes into the game, I'm on defense. I'm following the guy as he's running in. He bounces back out. I go to follow him. And then what feels like somebody curb stomped my heel. Like I almost got up to swing because I was mad because I thought somebody just like took a cheap shot at me from behind.
Holy shit.
And then as I try to get up, I was like, I can't stand on this leg. And then I got a little bit confused. And so I start limping off the field and like audibly going like, like it wasn't just like, oh, I think something might be wrong. It was like my body was affected. I felt what was like a popping or a snapping.
Ooh.
Again, this is what I thought was the contact of their cleat
Somebody
on the back of my heel.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was. I didn't realize that was my Achilles.
Oh, God.
And then as I ran towards off the field, I saw, because my wife was there, she was on the sideline. I asked her, I'm like, who hit me? She goes, there was nobody around you. And that's when I was just like, oh, I fucked my shit up.
Oh, damn.
And oh, dude, so here's what happened after going to the like quick care. The bones are all fine. So luckily I didn't do anything to the bones. I definitely tore my shit. The question is it a little bit it'll be able to heal on its own? Or did I tear it so bad that I will need, to quote the doctor, a major procedure done?
You don't want to hear a doctor say that.
Yeah. So
Good Lord.
now I'll tell you where I went wrong.
Being 30.
I totally thought being 30 and then doing no training or preparation from this. And then jumping into a tournament.
Oh, so you weren't like easing yourself into the gym or like
no.
Damn, yeah, I could see that. I mean, hey, I don't blame you. I probably wouldn't have done it either. Just been like, a baseball.
So,
like if I had a pickup baseball game with some coworkers.
You're not like, I'm gonna go run a couple miles just to make sure I'm good for like those like sprints.
No, of course I wouldn't have been blindsided by the fact that it's a professional tournament. Not professional, but there are like professionals in the tournament.
Yeah, there was two guys that played the indoor, I guess, like pro league or the NILLB. I don't remember what that acronym was, but they were really good.
Funny. That's man, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Me too. So I have my crutches behind me, and I have been in pain.
Well, speaking of pain, why don't you show everyone that shirt? Maybe it'll make you feel better. I don't think people have seen your shirt from Christmas yet.
Yeah. All the real ones know.
I am aware that character's not pain, by the way. I'm just saying that.
No. I appreciate the sentiment.
I tried to make some kind of segue. Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Speaking of segues.
I mean, this kind of sounds like a shitty thing to say after your story, but I've actually never broken or torn anything. And I played sports up until I was like 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten incredibly close and should have. I've had some stitches. Like I got hit with a baseball in my eye.
Ooh.
It's actually, I don't know.
The orbital socket.
Kind of. It's like over here. The eyebrow doesn't quite finish because there was like a stitch. And the chin when I was little, like smacking on the cement. Classic. But no, never broke any arm. I remember there was a moment when I was about 10 years old in Philadelphia before I moved that we had this patio on the side that was elevated about 6 to 7 feet off the ground. Not higher, actually. And I would stand on the edge of it and like do like a fucking like what are they called? Tightrope.
Parkour.
Yeah, no, like a tightrope walk type thing across the whole thing. And I remember there was a moment where I did that and I fell off the side that goes deep. Like, so we're talking like it's elevated 6 feet, but then you have another 4 feet of like wall.
Oh.
So that all that, but beneath me was a hockey net that I had put there. That was just out of service. God. Just, it's just always where we store it. Dude, like it felt like I felt like divine intervention. I was just like, if I fell in any other place on here, I would have died. Like there's like thorn bushes and fences and like fucking equipment and shit.
Oh my!
Hit the fence. Hit the net. I was good to go. And I knew after that I would never play hockey again. No, yeah, no, I've been incredibly lucky in that think. And I've never even had a cast.
I only had a cast for my wrist when I fractured it, which was, I don't know why I always managed to hurt the right side of my body. When I fractured my wrist, it was my right wrist, which meant I had to do everything left-handed. I tore the Achilles in my right foot, so I can't drive anywhere. I'm not making life any easier on myself.
That's fair. But you know what? I feel like you're either hit from either end, right? Because it's like, what I think is going to happen to me is that by the time I hit like 40, I'm going to need like back surgeries and wrist surgeries and shit like that. Stuff that I didn't. But if you're younger and you're more active, you don't need that stuff later, but you broke a bunch of bones and you had all that shit
on the way up.
So there's a spectrum, it's like, what end of it are you going to be on? Are you going to get it out of the way early, or are you going to deal with it when you're older? And sadly for me, I think being in this chair for longer than I should be is going to be a problem for sure.
Yeah, see, what this at least did for me is I'm going to, once I can start working out again, have a more strict workout regimen. It was one of those like
wake up calls.
It was something that reminded me, hey, if you don't want this to happen, you got to take care of your body. And it was a huge wake up call for being 30, still thinking, I was like, oh no, I'm fine. I don't need a brain. What is that? So it was a realization, awakening, something that I'm glad, if I'm going to have it, I'd rather have that happen at 30 and then take care of myself for longer. So that is the plan, sir.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I noticed that I was happier having jobs that kept me active. I will say that. Even like working those restaurant jobs and working at like this freight job, even being on my feet at the convenience store before for 8 hours a day, I would notice that like, hey, I can actually like be a little more active, go for a walk, and not feel like I'm out of breath within like a half an hour. Because especially during that pandemic, like after a couple months of just being inside nonstop, I remember going for a walk after a while and being like, whoa, I'm actually tired. Like this should not, I should not be tired.
I'm walking. I'm doing the bare minimum.
Yeah. Which I will say, being out here in Oregon it's a lot more enticing to go for walks, especially with
That's fair.
Nature being a lot nicer. And
oh yeah, it's a lot more lush, beautiful scenery.
Yeah, the rain can kind of keep you from wanting to go out as much, for sure. But it's sporadic enough where you might get a couple hours and be like, oh, and it makes you want to go outside. It's like, oh, it's not raining. We can go outside. You know?
This is our window of opportunity.
Yeah,
strike.
You actually want to take advantage. That was the weirdest feeling, is when I wanted to take advantage of a sunny day. I was like, whoa, it's a sunny day. I like want to go do stuff. I think something about Vegas being a constant 100 degrees, blinding light, 24 hours a day. It's almost like oppressive. It's like, I don't even want that. But not having it and then being like, oh, I want to take advantage of this. It was interesting.
Although, I want to talk about Oblivion, at least for a little bit.
Oh my. You know what?
It's so good.
Okay.
It's so good.
I'm glad you brought this up, actually. It is very good.
Even like, I forgot the custom stat class. Like creating your own custom class where, I want to be able to specialize in these things when you start out. When it's like, what sign are you under? And you can pick out, like there's a lot to pick from, but you can go down to custom and then pick all your own specific ones.
Yeah, and it's funny because I forgot they did that too, but I had just played Fallout New Vegas and they have a very similar starting system, so I didn't even think about it. I forgot that's not really in Skyrim. They just kind of ask you what class you are and stuff. Or not class, what race you are.
And then like the Daedric Shrines, I feel like those are, again, it gives the game another element that you can interact with that's a little bit different. That there were shrines, but not nearly as many. And I don't think that they were as exciting as the shrines in Oblivion are. Oh, and then the stones where you can get like Daedric gear equipped to you.
It's an opinion.
Bro,
no, it's fine. That's fine. Listen, I do love this game. It's heaps of fun, and the scenery is beautiful, and the character models are hilarious to look at.
Yeah, they are.
But your comment about it not being empty, you're full of shit, my friend, because I don't know as much about this game, right? So you need to remember, I don't know. Like, I know where I'm going, in a sense. Like, there's markers. They tell you where to go, of course. But I did the Skyrim thing, where I didn't do that, and I just went to an open field. And do you know what I found in that open field for 5 to 10 minutes? What? Nothing. I found fucking nothing, dude. And so I started walking towards the... Now, if you're on the main road... You're constantly bumping into shit. Like, you'll be walking down the main road and then there's a camp and it's like, oh shit, a camp. And then you go off to that camp and then you get back on the road. Not necessarily main, but as long as you're on a road, there is a lot of stuff around you. But the second you like go out into deep wilderness, nothing. I can't, I don't know. Maybe I'm not exploring the right spots. Maybe I'm not, I don't know. But I felt like in Skyrim, they plotted things out where you would run into like a witch's hut, or you would run into like an extra little cave or tavern, or things that I feel like I'm not running into in Oblivion.
Really?
Yeah, maybe I'm just getting unlucky and not running. Like, again, I've only played about 10 hours, let's say, of the story. So
which of like an Elder Scrolls game is not a lot yet. No. Again, it's really exploring the game, better understanding the mechanics, maybe leveling up a little bit to kind of grind. I'd say if in the next...
Just the empty comment. I agree with everything else you said for the most part. I still think I like Skyrim better. But I think I agree with everything else you said. It's a little more vibrant. It has a little more life. But the empty part, that's something I don't think I agree with. I think if you were to replay them side by side, I think you might feel... But you're doing that right now. So I guess maybe now after this...
Oblivion right now.
Maybe play Skyrim.
But that's where I'm like, I walked and I ran into a Daedric Stone, I ran into a Daedric Shrine, I ran into like multiple different tombs.
See, I haven't even...
that elven...
Really? Yeah, I feel like I haven't found anything. Like, yes, I've found stuff, but to the degree that I remember the exploration of Skyrim,
that's wild.
It could just be nostalgia too, I don't know. Potentially. Because also, you have to remember, is there part of you that remembers where some stuff is? So it's like, of course, if you're going to go that direction, you're going to run into that stuff. It's because I'm the same way.
Yeah, there's Skyrim, like a few. Yeah, there's a few landmarks where I'm like, I don't know the exact. Oh, I could walk in a straight line, but I know what area to be in, and I'll be able to find it.
Yeah. Should we talk about Palworld a little bit? I've realized that's actually something I wanted to talk about, and we didn't talk about it at all.
We're already here.
Yeah, we got a
So
little time.
no, we'll talk to you guys next time.
All right, have you played it at all yet? Did you?
I
Pick it up
haven't.
yet?
I have seen. I was watching you stream it, and then I think I've seen like a little bit of gameplay from other people on Twitch.
All right, so yeah, in that case, we'll just do a little precursor here. I think you should check it out, and then maybe after you play it, we'll do a little discussion about it.
Okay.
But what's your opinion on the jocking Pokemon Steez part of it? How do you feel about that?
It's weird because on one hand, like I see it and I'm like, I don't know if it's just because the guns plus they do look a little bit different, but like how different are Pokemon and Digimon? Like, so from one aspect,
Digimon,
yeah, from one aspect there, I don't really see, again, I mean, even like Yu-Gi-Oh to a degree has like monsters that you use to battle each other.
About Neopets, they have a similar vibe.
Yeah,
you know,
Neopets again. So there's a lot of things where it's like, what are you really mad at? Because there's already other similar things that like kind of came up with you when you had started, and now just because there's a new company.
Yeah, I don't. It is blatant. Let's not beat around the bush. I do.
Oh no! When I saw it, I'm like, that looks a lot like Pokemon, and it's being very similar.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this game is. I saw a post from someone that I don't really agree with, because I do think that it's partly cope, because some people just hate to see something that they don't want to be successful become successful. Because this game has sold like over 5 million copies. It's like the second
I think
most.
It was 8 million today.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's the second most played game on Steam like ever, at one concurrent time. I think at one time, so we're talking the same second, there was 1.8 million people playing it on Steam. Like, that's fucking insane to think about.
Yeah, 7 million copies. At least from this last update. I just don't know when the update was. Oh, one day ago it had sold 7 million copies. So yeah, it's probably up to 8 million today.
Yeah. Now, the post I saw said that they felt like there was nefarious, like, motivations behind this game.
Mm-hmm.
That, I don't really agree with that, because it's like, I would assume, one, it would be like a $60 plus game. It would have insane microtransactions, which so far I haven't ran into any microtransactions. I don't know if they plan on adding them once it becomes like alpha, because this is still in beta technically. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
But it so far doesn't feel like a company that's trying to like gouge money from children or anything. But the part that does feel weird is that it does feel like they very much purposely cherry-picked specific things from games that are popular right now and then just shoved them all into one game, and it like works. It's fun, it's very addicting, but it lacks like a personality. Like, while I'm playing it,
I gotcha.
I do kind of feel like, what the fuck am I playing? Like, I feel like I'm playing a parody of a video game. It feels like a fake video game you would see in a movie.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay. Yeah.
It's because it has the function of Fortnite. Like, literally the mechanic of like swinging your axe to break trees and walls is the same exact animation as Fortnite, right? And it's like the same weapon system.
Which that is something that I think is more like, if you're going to get them for stuff, it would be like, yeah, you copied our exact mechanics.
Yeah, animations or something like that. Yeah, and then you also have like Ark style building, that dinosaur game, the Ark Survival.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
People have been comparing it that a lot. It has literally the same exact template as Breath of the Wild when it comes to discovering places in the world. Like, you'll discover a new place, and then a little piano will go dee-doo-doo-doo, and it'll show the name in like blue text and white. Like, it's the same exact fucking. But it's like, what do all of these things have to do with each other? They don't really make sense all together. So it's like, I like everything you're giving me, but it's like a buffet. It's like the buffet of video games. Like, I really don't know how. It's so weird. I don't know how else to describe it. But it's a good buffet. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting my money's worth. And my favorite thing about the copyright thing and the whole Nintendo coming after them and stuff is these like warriors online who assume that they're informing Nintendo of something they're unaware of. Like that's like, oh, good job. Yeah, Nintendo had no idea that this game that's been in development for 3+ years and that has been very public about what it is and has released with 8 million plus copies. Yeah, your TikTok just revealed it all, and some exec is going to be
They had no idea.
Whoa.
Tyler, they're busy.
Yeah, and the funniest part is that they did actually already send a cease and desist to someone who modded Palworld, because they modded it to have Pokemon
so you could have
characters.
Pokemon, right? Yeah.
And they came after them. So it's like, if they came after him, they very much would have already come after Pocket
No,
Pair.
they didn't hear about Palworld. They just heard somebody made a mod, so that would be hilarious.
They're like, what's Palworld? No, we just heard about the mod of some game. What's Palworld? Like, yeah, I guess I won't talk about the game itself too much more until you play it, because I do want to get your opinion. And it's free on Game Pass. That's one of the biggest things. That's what's impressive about how many copies it's selling, because it's free for most people who have an Xbox.
If you download it, does that count as a sell? Because it could be like Xbox is paying a percentage to the game developers. And with Game Pass, it's kind of like, that's like the in-between. Like, they're actually paying for all those copies that get sold at a discounted rate for
it may be a metric like that, yeah, because I do know that they keep that tab to base it around, like kind of like Netflix, where it's like your subscription isn't literally paying for one specific thing, but if you watch one specific thing, it shows that algorithm that, this is the thing that we should pump money into or care more about, or, is a sale. So yeah, that's an interesting topic, which we won't get deep into, but it's kind of freaked me out, is the fact that we're losing touch with data. Like, we used to be able to tangibly know how many tickets were sold for a movie. Now we just kind of have to trust Netflix when they tell us that a movie is successful. Like, what does success mean for like a video game or a movie anymore? Like yeah, we still have some of the numbers where it's like, whoa, this X amount of number copies were sold. But when we have streaming and we have all these other things, what does that mean anymore? We don't have like data for what things are, and companies are the only ones that have the data, and then they're able to like, it's kind of fucked up in a way.
Yeah, them knowing the numbers of how everything is in terms of streaming, and then just saying like, oh, this one did really good. Yeah,
without communicating to the public necessarily because Netflix is very stringent about their numbers. They'll always say when something is successful, but they never really say like what that means. Because like, what does that mean?
Oh,
like what?
So, yeah, you would imagine they'd say like, oh, streamed over 100 million times.
Exactly. Like, I think.
Show us the numbers, Netflix.
Yeah, release the numbers. Hashtag. All right. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
Alrighty,
guys. It's been another great one. Shit, man.
Wow.
We have been running through these episodes. We've been consistent. I'll tell you what. I don't think we've done anything this consistent in a long time.
Yeah, for this long.
Yeah.
So that's right. If you want to see more episodes of POW Gaming, be sure to follow us at POW Gaming on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And you'll be able to see the Zelda episode 4.
Porno games. Yep. Yeah. Our most popular episode because it has the word porn in the title. Apparently that's all you had to do back then.
Simpler time.
Before the algorithm ruined everything. Just let me put boobs and porno in the title and people will click on it, damn it. Ugh.
Simpler times.
God. Anyway, join the Discord. Support us on Patreon. Shout out to all those lovely patrons over on Patreon. Gerbils.
Give you kisses. Mama. Give you all kisses.
Guys, we'll see you in the next one. Later.